Here we go. This is going to be a quick video on pickled beets and hard-boiled eggs that turn red. Wait, they're at the end. Wait, I'll show you. All right, so look, here's what you want. You want 1 cup of cider vinegar and a ½ cup of white vinegar. Then you want 1 cup of sugar. In this case, I'm using a ½ cup of sugar and a ½ cup of stevia. It's that artificial sugar stuff. Okay, then we're gonna add that was 1 cup of water. Then we're gonna add a tablespoon of cinnamon, and I believe it's 1 1¼ teaspoons of cloves, 2 teaspoons of salt. I like put a little bit in, I just put a splash in. All right, here's the beets. I peel them first when I cut them like this, because otherwise you can't peel them, once they're cooked. You know what I'm saying? That the skin is all on each piece. So it's best just to peel them. All right. Now mix all that up together. Okay, it's going to start boiling here in a minute, and we're going to add those beets. We're going to cook them about 25 minutes. What did I add there? I think that was just a little more water. I think it was kind of strong. Yep, there you go, a little bit more sugar or stevia. Okay, now look, you can use anything in this. You can do orange juice, add a little cinnamon to it. And a little bit of vinegar. You got to have some vinegar. You could use pineapple juice. Here, I'm going to throw in an orange here. This is, you can do anything you want with this, Just remember how the beets taste and what would taste good with the beets. Like I say, orange juice tastes great. In fact, I think that's called Harvard beets, I believe. And you thicken it with a little bit of cornstarch. It comes out great. It's really good stuff. Okay, so now I'm going to boil them for about 25 minutes. Until they're tender. Depends on how you like them. If you like them a little crisp, then stop it. All right, now look. I took 6 hard-boiled eggs. All right, there you go. There's 6 hard-boiled eggs. And I soaked them in the beet juice for 24 hours. Don't go any longer than that, because then the yolks will start turning red. If you just want to buy beets at the store and use the juice, you can. It's no big deal. But you don't want to let them go any more than 24 hours. All right, now look, these eggs you could use on salads. You could chop them up, but it doesn't look as good, You could make deviled eggs out of them. You could cut them in half, take the yolks out, but just make sure that when you put, when you mix up the yolks with the mayonnaise and all that stuff, make sure that when you pipe them in, make sure you don't cover the red. There's a lot you can do here. You can make wedges out of them. You can use them on salads, or you can just serve them like they are with crackers and cheese, and there's just a whole bunch of stuff you can do. This was the whole reason I made the video, so you can see that that the skin turns red. Also, the whites turn red. Also, when you hard-boiled eggs, don't let them cook any more than 13 minutes. All right, here's what you do. Make sure you have a pot big enough that it doesn't take a long time for the for the water to recover once you put the eggs in. You know what I'm saying? Make sure you have a pot big enough. Also, don't drop them in, because they're going to break. You don't want them to break. Put them in very gently. Now, you're putting them in once it's boiled. Okay, the water is boiling. Now you put the eggs in. When it comes back to a boil, you do exactly 13 minutes. And you won't have any of that gray color around the yolks. It'll be perfect. It's 13 minutes exactly. But that's once they come back to a boil. Now, what I did with these was I cooked them in a big pot. So they came back to a boil almost, well, I would say 30 seconds later, the water was boiling again. It does help if the eggs are room temperature. Also, it helps if the eggs are old. Let's say a week or two after you bought them from the store, and that helps you peel them. The skin will come off a heck of a lot better. But look, you can see there's no gray around that yolk. It's just red, white, and yellow. There's no gray. All right, anyway, Those are the red eggs. You can use them in a whole bunch of ways. And they taste kind of like the pickled beets. You know, they're really cool. Okay, now, hey, listen, you might find this somewhere else in town, but you're not going to find it any better than this right here. I got to go. I got to eat. See ya.